You see that?
It's coming from below.
Keep hauling, slow.
It's like the sea's alive.
Saints preserve us.
What would you do if your fishing net pulled up something that wasn't a fish? Something with human eyes and a silver tail. Today, I want to tell you a story I've never forgotten. A legend from the African coast about the day a group of fishermen accidentally caught Mami Water. When I was younger, an old fisherman once told me something I've never forgotten. He said, if you ever hear the ocean whisper your name, well, no, you'd better not answer. I laughed back then, but years later, I discovered why the elders say that. Because deep beneath the water lives a spirit many fishermen both fear and respect. Her name is Mami Water. The ocean was quiet that morning. Not the ordinary kind of quiet fisherman loved, but the kind that made the birds stop singing. A long stretch of golden coastline glowed beneath the rising African sun. Palm trees swayed gently, their shadows stretching across the sand like long fingers reaching from the tide. This is a story of when the world of man and the world of the deep collided. For generations, the fishermen of this village had respected one rule above all others: never cast your net in the forbidden waters.
It grows stronger every night. That part of the ocean is forbidden to us now.
The elders warned that something ancient lives there, something beautiful, something dangerous. They called her Mami Water. Some said she was a goddess of the sea. Others believed that she was a spirit who rewarded kindness and punished greed. But every fisherman agreed on one thing: if Mami Water noticed you, your life would never be the same again. It could either be for good or for bad. If she notices you for your wickedness, she just might reward your wickedness. And if she notices you for your kind-heartedness, she just might reward your kindness. Most men respected this warning. But desperation has a way of making people forget their fear. The desperate voyage. The fishing season had been terrible. For weeks, the nets came up empty. Children in the village were going to sleep hungry. Fires in the cooking huts burned lower every night. One evening, a group of fishermen gathered beside their woods, staring out upon the darkening sea. "We cannot return empty," one of them muttered. Another pointed toward a distant stretch of water, the place every fisherman avoided, the forbidden waters. Silence fell. We all know the stories, another fisherman said quietly. But another one shook his head. He said, "Spirits do not feed children." The group exchanged uneasy glances. Finally, someone said the words no one else wanted to say. "Tomorrow, we go over there and fish there." The decision hung in the air like a curse. Among the group was a young fisherman named Atoda. He was quieter than the others, more thoughtful, and as the men prepared their boats for the next morning, he could not shake the strange feeling that something terrible was about to happen. Into the forbidden waters. At dawn, the fishermen pushed their wooden boats into the waves. The sea was calm. In fact, it was too calm. Even the wind seemed to be hiding its breath. As they rode further and further down from the shore, the water slowly darkened into a deep, unnatural blue color. No birds flew overhead. No dolphins surfaced nearby. The sea air felt watchful. The fishermen avoided looking at each other. Finally, the captain spoke. "This is far enough. Cast the nets." Heavy ropes splashed into the water. The nets sank deep beneath the surface. For several long moments, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the ropes jerked violently. The men grabbed them in surprise. Pull! Whatever they had caught was strong, stronger than any fish they had ever captured. The ropes trembled as if something enormous struggled below. "Pull harder!" The men strained together. Slowly, the net began rising. But before the catch even reached the surface, water began to glow. not faintly, not dimly, but with a strange silver light. The fisherman froze. What? What is that? The glow grew brighter, sparkling like moonlight trapped beneath the sea. And when the net finally broke through the surface, every man on the boat stopped breathing. Because tangled inside the net was not a fish, not a whale, not any creature they had ever seen before. It was a woman with skin that shimmered like pearls, long black hair flowing like seaweed in the tide, and below her waist, a powerful silver tail. They had captured Naniwata.
You see that?
It's coming from below.
Keep hauling slow.
It's like the sea's alive.
Saints preserve us.
See that? Under the net? That's no fish I've ever seen.